posibleng pinagmula ng African swine fever virus na tumama sa mga
Pigs caught in ASF hit area.
Ang Bureau of Animal Industry sa mga hog racer.
legislative inquiry on the outbreak of the African swine fever in the Philippines.
Ang African swine fever
If not thousands of backyard raised pigs, fever or ASF.
of the African swine fever or ASF.
13 ASF affected areas.
Of the African swine flu.
Step into the shoes of a Filipino hog raiser. Every pig you raise is not just a livestock. It is your family savings, your children's tuition, your safety net for emergencies. Then one morning, officials arrived with a devastating order. All your pigs must be called. Not because you were careless, not because you failed, but because a virus has entered your community. In a single day, your livelihood disappears. This was the reality for thousands of Filipino farmers when African swine fever, or ASF, spread across the Philippines in 2019. ASF is a powerful lesson about how government policies shape agricultural science, technology, and society, and how those decisions can change lives overnight.
To understand the impact of ASF, we first need to look at the problem itself. ASF is a highly contagious viral disease affecting pigs, causing nearly 100% mortality and affecting herds. Since pork is one of the Philippines' most consumed proteins, the outbreak immediately became the national food security crisis.
In response, the Department of Agriculture, or the DA, and the Bureau of Animal Industry, or the BAI, implemented the ASF Integrated National Action Plan, or the INAP. The plan aimed to contain and eradicate ASF, protect domestic pork supply, stabilize market prices, and support industry recovery. Policies included mass culling, quarantine and zoning regulation, movement restriction, mandatory farm biosecurity, and expanded disease surveillance. These measures were essential to protect the swine industry and national food supply. While these measures were necessary, they also raised new challenges and questions. How effective are policies when they solve one problem but create new challenges? With that in mind, let's see how these policies influence science and technology.
ASF show that science often follows policy. When ASF became a national priorities, research and fundings shifted towards strengthening laboratories, diagnostic capacities, expanding disease surveillance, and promoting farm levels biosecurities, technologies, and supporting vaccine research.
Moreover, guidance of the Food and Agriculture Organization shows that strong surveillance and biosecurity are critical in controlling ASF, or African swine fever. In the Philippines, these strategies become the mandatory regulation. For example, farms had to install disinfection areas, control access, and improve sanitation system. Therefore, policy determine which technology were promoted, who receive support, and who remain vulnerable. This raises an important consideration. Do policies always benefit everyone equally, or do some communities face greater challenges? With this understanding, let us now examine the effectiveness of these measures and trade-offs involved.
On the one hand, zoning and quarantine measures successfully slowed virus transmission in many areas. Surveillance improved, and repopulation programs were introduced in cleared zones. On the other hand, there were significant trade-offs. The national swine population fell sharply, causing pork prices to rise. To stabilize supply, the government allowed more pork imports. As a result, small backyard farmers suffered the most. Many lost their entire herds, and compensation programs were delayed or insufficient. Meanwhile, large commercial farms recovered faster due to greater resource and infrastructures. This leads to a critical question. How can policies protect the industry without leaving small farmers behind? Thus, while the policies were effective in controlling ASF, They also intensified inequalities and reshaped the swine industry.
Furthermore, ASF policies raise ethical and social questions. For instance, biosecurity upgrades require financial investment, creating unequal burdens for small farmers. Mass culling removes livelihoods, which bring a moral responsibility for timely and sufficient compensation. Backyard hog raising is also part of rural culture and household security. So it declines affects community stability. Additionally, safe disposal of culled pigs present environmental challenges. Therefore, should disease control focus solely on efficiency? Or should fairness and community well-being be part of the equation? Clearly, agricultural policies must balance science, fairness, inclusion, and sustainability. Recognizing this ethical concern naturally points us toward future direction for policy improvements.
Looking ahead, future animal health policy should protect good animals and people. This includes cost transparency and sufficient compensation for pig farmers, accessible training and financial support for smallholder biosecurity, expansion of livestock insurance and livelihood diversification programs, strengthening community-based disease surveillance, promoting modernization without including small-scale producers. Ultimately, agricultural science and technology must aim for productivity, resilience, and ethical responsibility, ensuring that innovation does not leave the most vulnerable behind.
African swine fever is more than a veterinary crisis. It reveals how policy shapes science, technology, and society, and who ultimately bears the consequences. Science can detect viruses, technology can strengthen biosecurity, policies can stabilize markets. But behind every quarantine zone and culling order are real human lives.
Science must guide action.
Policy must protect people. And justice must remain at the heart of every decision.
This was the lasting lesson of African swine fever in the Philippines.